So the committee meeting is still, we're gonna convene later for that. So the committee meeting didn't really have any results to talk about. But for now, what we did is we ended up, so what we did was we fixed up the legend. So the legend is usable now. Wait, so the light yellow, that's just your way of marking things, right, Han? The light yellow highlights.
Yeah, those are the ones that I confirmed before.
All right, thank you. Do you mind if I get rid of them?
Oh, it's okay. I just put them so that like people would know.
Yeah, all right, I figured. Thank you. All right, if like while I'm talking, could someone that was here working on the legend also the color the product categories this color while I catch every Sophia and Alice up. So basically, any product category with the red NA means they don't have any of the top tier product categories. AKA basically, if you look at here, you see how for rubber and vinyl protectants, it's NA, right? That just means they don't have any top tier chemicals. That's what that means. Thank you, that was so fast. And so, yeah, so the legend is good to go. So going from now, we can use the legend as we see fit. So I was thinking, I was looking over our TPD thing. We weren't done with what we hoped to be done by this meeting, including me. So I was thinking we could take until 8:30ish to finish everything up. And when I say let's finish everything up, what I mean is get rid of all the secondary chemicals, and thus also make this look so. Example, think, Richard, I'm gonna use yours because it's on the top. Once you delete secondary chemicals, right, you're gonna have this white space, this blank space, and I want us to get rid of that if possible. Also, no, I'll show mine because I know I merged all my stuff. If you merged your product categories like I did, so this merge. If you didn't, then don't worry about it. Once you try to get rid of like you want to unmerge it if you have secondary chemicals to delete. So delete that, and what you want to do is copy it or cut it, and then just paste it back a space back. Because we can't actually delete columns because that screws people's up. This is how I want you to close the space. So for example, for with this one, I honestly suggest people start from the back. Wow, you have a lot for this, Richard. But what you want to do is you copy it. Actually, Control X. What Control X means is you cut it. It works identical to Control C, but the difference is once you go to paste it, it gets rid of it. So it cuts anything at the back. So I use Control X here, right? If I use just Control C and go paste it here, you notice that at the end, there's still this left over, right? So that's why you don't want to use Control C, but you want to use Control X to copy. So again, if I were to use Control X to copy it and then use Control V, it copies everything fine, but it gets rid of all that's left at the end. How you get rid of this is again, you would just go to the next part that you want to add in Control X and do all that. Honestly, I would say start from the back. You can get rid of everything. So this doesn't seem like it's merged. Actually, no, yeah, just do it from the front. Just do it from the front. And then Control X and paste it to get rid of the blank space. Does that make sense? That's like the easiest way I can think of to get rid of the blanks that are left behind when you get rid of the secondary chemicals. Maybe I'll make a list up here to clean or cleaning. One, make sure gets rid of secondary tier chemicals. And once you do that, get rid of the white space, use Control X to copy, not Control C. Control V to paste, obviously. And then put in emission values. Anyone have questions? And we're gonna do this
Oh,
until like 8:30.
for the sum, how do we like extend the sums, I guess, row?
Nice. Thanks for asking. I was gonna go over that. So if you double click the cell value for sum, honestly, what you can just do is get rid of it and recreate this. Just write over it with the new range. So just go delete and then equals sum and then go till the end and press enter and you should get all of that. And then but do that
Okay.
last equals sum. So one. I mean it's in order. I'm not gonna put in 1, 2, 3, 4. That's just extra work for me. I don't wanna do. Oh, there's that. Oh, add group names if you did it, and you can do that at the end because it's not that important. Yeah, that's that. Any questions? Does anyone want me to go over anything? All right, I'm assuming no confusion. Then honestly, everyone can turn their cameras off for now because all we're doing is working. And I'll call us all back at like 30 to see how we stand, and then we can discuss on the metrics a bit and how we might want to go about sorting. So if everyone can just come back. We're gonna talk metrics, right? So metrics we can talk about and we'll put up here. All right, Richard, for these, you just gotta merge these cells and then you can just sorry, I just saw there, something like that. That's that. Anyways, metrics. And what we mean by metrics is how we're going to analyze the mission data. Did we have any ideas? All right, so one thing we want to think about is what do we want to learn or to know on our data, right? That should be kind of the end goal when we're talking about these. So say we want to look at total emission, like straight up total emissions. What would that tell us about our data? That would tell us our current total emission is defined as total emissions of everything in the product categories, right? So if we were to just look at total emission, what we would get is we'll get the occupations with the most exposed, with the most toxic chemical emitted. Okay, did anyone have any idea, like, because total emissions was like a very obvious. We could look at total emissions to see which jobs have the most risk of exposure to the top tier chemicals. Do we have any other ideas on what we could learn from our data?
Most commonly used chemicals or product categories.
Per product category or per occupation?
I think product category.
Yeah, and that would tell us so that we would get that by the frequency of a certain chemical for that job, right? Yeah, those were like the two big things I also thought of when I was thinking of this.
And just to confirm, like, the metrics we're talking about here is what we can get like straight up from this data, like, and only this data, and not pulling in outside sources.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I guess also product categories that have like high emissions, like high total emissions within each product category, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense.
Wait, could you repeat that?
um, I didn't really think this through, but like which product categories have the most toxins?
Oh,
Does
okay.
that make sense?
That would tell us the most total emissions. And that would tell us. Should we take into account like you know how some categories will only have one and some will have multiple. Maybe that's something we could ask Dr. Knott. We could ask how to deal with categories that have different. Any other thoughts? We could rank them by the group. So we could get total emission and look at but first we're okay. I think for now, then these metrics will do. Since we're meeting with Dr. Knott on Thursday, we could ask her for more ideas of how we could parse through these. We could so I would especially then have us look at this we'll hold off on. But we can honestly look at total emission and frequency of certain chemicals for that job. But before we do that, we want to re-sort them by group, if you know what I mean. I'm gonna create a new sheet, group TPD. So first, before we even look at those data, we wanna regroup them accordingly. So these are group names, right? I would honestly love to have these by chronological order, but group name, emission, job, occupation, like that. And then we would have, does that make sense? Right? What about everyone else? Like, we understand how this works. So
We're just
I'll
adding
use
up
an
all the emissions,
example.
right?
Right.
Okay.
But
For each group.
honestly, we have 43, 45, 47, 41, 39. Is anything, do we have any 20s? No. Am I going crazy or these are actually in order, right? Order of number. Right, it goes 31, 33, 35.37. And someone will change.
Oh, also for like total for the total emission of groups, are we dividing them like by tens or by the thousand? I think my question is like, should we keep it consistent, I guess?
Yeah, so we look here, 39. Where's the SOC? Or I'm currently running into a bit of a hurdle because looking at some of these, like this group has a bunch of thousands, and it seems like it's the only. I forgot we need to discuss sorting the groups. That's my bad. So these are group names. Well, that was my hope. And so some work out really nice, right? Because I have multiple, but some don't. Like here you have a lot of ones that stand alone. 39.3. This I'll use Ryan's as an example. We'll resort these come Thursday or Friday. I mean rename them so that so like take care of these is what I mean. Like the ones that have multiple standalones and we still start to group like these and these. So I think you said we could like for Helen, for example, I think it came up last meeting. You said that we could probably put everyone under yours as machine operator or something like that, right? So if others specifically like if you happen to have like Richard and Lily have multiple like this per your group, if you can think of an overall like name for them, that would be great. If you have a hard time coming up with it though, we can discuss it as a group Thursday. But for now, just basically copy this, go to here, basically, group name. And then so for this, you have these four, right? Let's just also make these like light yellow to show. This is where the groups are. And then and then you bring the total sum of here from what we did here. Home health and personal care aid would be, if you ever run into a problem, and tells you 0, paste the values only, and it should get rid of that problem. And blah, 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 like, you'll have it, whatever, and then you'll just add up the sum of this, right? So say it's like 1 that, and then you start the next, which is group, I don't know, whatever for Ryan. So for everyone, I would say, how many groups do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 of us, so for now, we're just going to have, so Ryan, you can start yours here. 1, 2, I said 8, right? And you get the point, so I think I was next in line. And these are obviously just placeholders right now, but do yours here so we're not confused with spacing. And we'll just put them into a comprehensive list for everyone and just fill this in. So that takes care of total emissions, right? And then our next, wait, are you guys seeing my, do you guys see the S4 heat map right now? Okay. And for the frequency of a certain chemical for that job, we're going to have another, and we'll name it frequency. We'll have group name, but instead of that, we'll have occupation, and this will be the chemical name. Does anyone remember how many chemicals are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 18, right?
Yeah, that's 18.
Okay, thank you. So that's that. And then we're gonna have frequency for that group. This makes, thank you, Tara. This makes sense, right? So what we're gonna do for the chemical frequency is so whatever group. So say we're okay, I'm just gonna use group 31 as an example. Let's start here. So we'll kind of use the same as before, where this will be Ryan, and he'll just do it below here. And then he's what you would do for this is for methyl, he would go across. It should just check for methyl and chlorine, say how many times it comes up. So like for home health and personal care aid, that's 1. So he would put 1. And you would just do that for each chemical, and that gets a frequency, right? And so that's how you would do the chemical frequency. And yeah, I think that's all we want to do for Thursday. Or honestly, I would love to have this done by tomorrow if we can, so we can show Dr. Schwartzman and be like, this is what we have. Do you have any further things we could do or add on to? But yeah, that's that for now. Like this. And then you just paste another one below to do another one of your groups. Sounds good? And this by what tomorrow if possible. But if you can't, Thursday. And I think, yeah, I'll end it here unless you have any questions, any clarifications we need. All right. Sorry for going over time, guys, but thanks for sticking around. Again, if you have any questions that come up, just message me